Hey, my name is Royal Ferris, and my main goal is to help you live a better life. And this is Life Support TV. You know, according to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, 15.7 million Americans struggled with depression or anxiety in 2014. That is about 6.7% of our population. You know, depression and anxiety, as far as we know, is more prevalent with women than it is for men, but I think that's mostly because men aren't willing to come forward and talk about it. One national survey from 2010 to 2013 said that 9% of men said they struggle with depressive or anxious thoughts every single day. And the suicide rate for men is 4 times that of women. So since depression and anxiety is so prevalent in America, ladies, how might you discover that your men are struggling with depression or anxiety? Well, the diagnosis criterion is the same for men and women, but let me give you 7 different ways or 7 different behaviors that will help you determine if your man might be struggling with depression or anxiety. Number 1 is fatigue. A very high percentage of men struggle with fatigue. They're tired all the time and they have trouble sleeping. So you think, well, that's why you're tired. Or they sleep too much and they're still tired. Stress and anxiety will make you tired, among some other physical things. But that's a symptom that's very important. Number 2, you know that most men or women don't realize that one of the side effects of anxiety or depression is chronic stomach disorders or back disorders. Number 3, easily irritated or angry. You know, that man that you fell in love with that used to be so optimistic and used to have such a good time, he seems to be very cynical and negative, and man, he will bite your head off in a second. Number 4, stress comes from the anxiety. He worries. He seems to struggle all the time with things that he didn't struggle with before. And making decisions, he just can't seem to make a decision. Number 5, substance abuse. It's usually self-medication. Most people that have some kind of addiction or trouble with substance abuse have depression, anxiety, or some other emotional disorder. I was talking to a friend of mine who was an alcoholic one time, and he said, you know what, Royal? He said, I don't like the taste of alcohol, but it just makes me feel better. Number 6, sexual dysfunction. If your man doesn't like being intimate, he has a hard time participating, that is not natural. And for a man, it could very possibly be physical, about 50% of it, or mental, whatever the issue. If a man's having a problem in that area, there is a problem that needs to be attended to. And then number 7, and the worst, but sometimes usually the hardest to catch, are suicidal thoughts. And the best way to get to that point where you realize that the thoughts are there, you realize that the anxiety is there, is to be a listener. Look, if your man's not the same as he was, if he's made these changes, he doesn't eat the same, he doesn't think the same, he doesn't feel the same about life, it's not just because he's gone on to another level, it's because he's struggling. Okay, so you think the guy might be depressed, or maybe he struggles with anxiety a little bit more. Don't take no for an answer. Let's try to get him help. And I will have suggestions on that in the next video. Hey, if this was helpful to you, please share this with others. Subscribe to this channel. I'd love to reply to your comments. I'm looking forward to dealing with this topic more and other topics to help you live a better life. Thank you and God bless.